And don't want to fix it alone? Call RVFix to get virtual assistance from a certified technician today.
Hi, this is Daryl with RVFix. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to fix a leaky fitting that's going to our kitchen faucet right here. But first off, let's go look at the parts that we use to fix freshwater systems. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to go over how to do some of the plumbing repairs in an RV. What we have is we have our blue PEX line right here. This is 1/2-inch PEX line, okay? And 1/2 inch is the diameter of the line itself, and this is a red. Of course, this is hot, this is cold. And these are typical fittings that we have right here that we use as we're repairing. So we're going to have fittings like this. This is kind of a flare-it fitting. And this is a really neat fitting. What it does is it allows us to cut the pipe, join it together without having to use a crimper. And let me show you a couple things that we have. We have our tool, our cutting tool right here, and our crimper tool right here. So the crimper tool is going to go with a crimp ring, which is going to go with these guys right there. Okay? Let me just kind of show you how it works. We're going to take the crimp ring, stick it on the pipe. We're going to take our fitting, put it in here, press it in, and then we're going to come up right there. And we're going to take this tool, push it around the crimp ring right there, and then I'm going to crimp down. As you heard it kind of click into place or unclick, this will click into place and tighten around this ring to where it's very tight, and it'll compress between the fitting and the pipe, and so it'll make a nice tight connection. Okay, so we would do that on this side, and if we are joining these two together, which we never do red and blue together, but if we were, we'd have another crimp ring here and we'd put it together. And we'll show you how to do that later. So I'm going to take that one off, and you can see this is just another one, same thing. It's just going to slide in right there depending on what you want to do. And we have two lines coming in and out here. Okay. Now, the thing with the flare tool is the flare fittings are a little bit different. There's many different kinds of flare fittings. These are just two I have right now. So I'm going to put the collar on, and then I'm going to press this in here. And this becomes very tight when I press it in here. So I'm not going to do it just yet. But it's going to fit in here, and it's going to press around the ring. And then once I'm done, I'm going to tighten this up. And the compression of this collar and the threads around our pipe will make it to where it doesn't leak. So we have this type of fitting. We have this type, and these types of fittings right here. These are main fittings that we use. Now there's other types of fittings out there. There are shark bite fittings, and some of us use it, but a lot of times we stick with these ones that we know are going to work. Now the other thing I want to show you is this. On this right here, this type of fitting right here will go onto, let's say, the back of the water heater, the inlet or the output of the water heater. It'll also go onto like the faucets, the hot and cold side of the faucet, right? So one thing you want to note here is this little gasket right here. A lot of times we'll get leaks because this gasket has deteriorated or if it's missing. And you can see where that gasket fits right inside there, right? And so if you have this type of fitting, it could be a flare fitting, or it could be another fitting that has this type of head on it. A lot of times you'll need that gasket right there to be able to seal when you tighten this down. All right, so the last thing I have that we want to talk about is this fitting right here, this pipe connection here. Typically when we're dealing with PEX lines and water lines, we don't use these. These usually don't have enough force. They don't hold enough to be able to keep the pressure from leaking out. So when we deal with this, we use this kind of crimp ring right here. So to be able to have a crimp ring like that, you do need to have a crimping tool to use to make it work. Okay, so let's go into the RV and let's figure out how it works. All right, so this is our faucet in our kitchen. It happens to be in the island in our trailer here. But if you look right here, this piece right here is leaking. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace this. And like I talked about the fittings before, we're actually just going to use one of the flare fittings. And when we use a flare fittings, that means we don't have to use this guy. So we're going to undo the fitting right here. And we're going to set this aside. just something I did prior is I took out this piping here so we could do the video. But a lot of times I could do it without removing the piping. So, but I'm going to take this fitting right here. I'm going to unthread it. And if there is any liquid that comes out, you do want to have a basin to catch that in. Okay. I'm going to take my pipe cutters, and so this fitting comes back up into here, so I'm going to cut back just a little bit further than what the crimp ring is. All right. Looks like I need to cut a little bit further, right? Just like that. Okay. Take my rag, clean up the area. Okay, so with this one here, with the flaret, I stick my collar on the PEX line. And then this gets a little tricky, but I'm going to force this fitting right on. All right. Now at this point, I'm going to take my collar and thread. You could hear it squeak. Take my channel locks. Get the right size. I'm going to tighten that on there. Good and tight. Like I said, it's a compression. It will take the hose and compress around the fitting in there. And so now we have that. Also, I'm going to make sure I have my ring in there. And I'm going to thread this on here. Now I don't need to use my pliers for this. I could just use hand tight that gasket in there, that comb gasket. Should be able to do the job once I have it sealed down with my hand. Okay.
Thanks for watching. If this video didn't solve your problem, don't worry. We're here to help. Give us a call at 1-844-66-RVFix. We'll diagnose your issue quickly with a certified technician on a video call, get any parts and warranty processed, and if needed, we'll coordinate a service center or mobile technician to get you fixed. We'll handle it all so you can get back to camping.